Yes, sir. And that's why we're here live.
Oh, shit.
Live with Booze Andy. It's episode 59 of Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. We are back. Brad is back, baby. Back better than ever. And he's here today to help explain what the hell's been going on with Severance. Are we doing that today? I'm not sure if we were, but you know what? Maybe we give a little insight from the last episode or something.
Absolutely. And apparently I've been hearing episode 4 is generational TV content.
Dude, I'm hearing that too. So let's just jump in. I mean, Brad, how's everything been? How's the I know you've been busy. You were just saying before we started this episode that's been kind of crazy for you.
Yeah, I have been busy. I have not been able to watch a movie in theaters, but I have been able to stream. There's some good ones. We'll talk about my good Wild Robot review, Real Pain. I've been able to see some that have recently been in theaters, but just didn't have the time. So life is good. Life is busy. Happy to be back. I think it's been quite a while. So I'm good. How about you, Kev? Lieutenant Lollipop, sorry.
Lieutenant Lollipop, I still haven't changed. No, it's been good too, dude. I mean, busier than ever, but I'm glad we're making it work. Like we said, like the last few episodes, it's been crazy start to the year. Again, 2 years in, and I just can't believe we're still doing this at this rate. And I can't believe what Filmaholics has become. So we got to be there for the people, but also just fun to hang out with you guys. So.
Absolutely.
We miss Vu. I miss Vu, man. It's too bad he's not here. We're gonna get all three of us together very soon. Hopefully next episode. I think that's where we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Monday we're thinking? Okay, that's when I can do that too, because that's when Lindsay's family gets in, and I'm sure they'll be fine with me doing a podcast. I can do their own shit around here. We'll be skiing and we're going across country. Actually across up to and down to and all the way over to Vail. So
very cool.
Fun.
Yeah, that's like a 2,000-mile trip for you.
Yeah, at least, man, at least. I mean, dude, there's been a lot of shit going on. Should we start with kind of discussing what we've seen, and then we get into start with like Severance, then go into other things we've seen, because right now Severance is clearly the number one thing people are watching on TV. I feel like weekly. Is there something else I'm missing that's not on my radar? I was wondering that earlier this week.
I don't think so. I think Severance is the weekly TV right now,
dude. And it's been freaking awesome. Let's be real. It
really is.
I mean, Brad, I know. Did you get into Severance right away, or did you learn to watch Severance from this show?
I did get into Severance right away.
All right,
I saw week to week when it first came out. I don't know what brought me to start it, but yeah, started watching it, was immediately hooked, told everyone about it. And then obviously we had a 2-3 year break that was just tough to get through. But now we're back and season 2 is generational TV.
Yeah, man. I mean, episode 1, great start. It was more about what happened post season 1 with the innies. Post episode 2 is the post season 1 version of the outies and a little bit of the innies as well, but a lot of it was more outie related. And then episode 3 was a good mix, if I remember correctly. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I know I watched it last week, but I'm trying to remember at the top of my head. All I know is I know at the end of the episode, spoilers for anyone out there, spoilers. It looks like the main guy was trying to figure out how he can get into the severed world. He was trying to blind himself, essentially ingraining some sort of a message into his eyeball. So he was wasting probably 5 minutes. Some lady, I don't remember her from season 1. What was her role in season 1?
She worked at Severance. I think she might have been a doctor doing this severed procedure.
Okay.
And Mark connects with her in the middle of the season. And if you remember, that security guy follows him and she uses a bat and kills him.
Okay. And I know she severed
his name was
old
Grainer.
best friend.
I think it's Mr. Grainer.
Okay.
Because she was the one that did the PD reintegration.
That's right, PD, his old best friend. Was it their any best friends or outie best friends?
Any best friend, yep.
Any best friend, that's right. But then it ended with essentially him getting reintegrated the same old way as young PD, I guess, right? Am I correct about
apparently she's better at it. So
she's better at it.
She tried to say that there wouldn't be the complications that we saw with PD.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more we can go into it. And next week, I think we're going to go through a full breakdown. Me and Vu are going to kind of go through the season and describe each thing that's happened
theories.
so far.
Talk some theories out there.
Yeah, but I mean, did that episode not end with you having, chills? Like when they finally got it. Like what'd you think of that?
I'm surprised it happened so soon.
Yeah,
because that's like a major. At least I thought that would be like a major plot point. Would be him reintegrating. So now he has the memories, or at least he can try to piece the memories, and he would be able to go to the severed floor and not be changed.
Well, man, I mean, maybe this season, and this season's literally them going bigger and better than that, like truly expanding the universe, truly getting us to newfound points of the Severance world that we had never even experienced yet. I mean,
That's
it's moving slow, but it's the slower moments are now becoming bigger. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, and we just have yet to see so much of this world. Like,
yeah,
what does the world look like truly? We've seen snippets of like the town,
sure,
but
I think we're like day 2. I think we're only on like day 2 or night 2 of them post. No, I guess it's been 3 months. Sorry, it's been 3 months, and then but night 2 of what we've seen on the show. Is that correct? Because we saw the first day.
I think they lied about the 3 months thing.
Oh, they did?
I think
I must have blanked out.
Because are you talking about like the parade that they talked about?
I just know that they say 3 months later, and that's why.
Because that's what I think Milchick says.
Yeah.
But like truly, we have no idea. Like that could be a lie.
Okay.
And Innie has no idea, right?
True. Yeah, true.
That's at least my theory is like it's not that far in the future.
Like maybe a week.
Yeah, and they're just because they need I don't know how deep we want to go, but like they need Mark to complete this cold storage
project.
Yeah. I don't think that they like took that much time away.
Huh. Okay. And like I mean, so far, season 2, episode 3, episode 4 comes out this Thursday. What do you think in the show? I know we had astronomically insane hype for the show itself. Do you feel like so far it's living up to it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I think we're in the middle of like watching a show that's Game of Thrones level, season 2, season 3. Yep. It's like, and maybe during season 2 and season 3 of Game of Thrones, I wasn't a part of that, but I could see where they were like, this is amazing television, but did they realize this was amazing television? Like this is as good as it gets, maybe they did. I wasn't part of the zeitgeist then. Yeah, I just feel like people are watching Severance and everyone's like, this is top tier TV.
And I think the creators have said that, this show won't overstay its welcome. So it won't be like many, many seasons, like maybe 4 max.
Yeah.
Which would be perfect. Like if you could just keep like this quality for just 4 seasons, maybe 3. It could end up.
I say if you give me 3, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a perfect trifecta if they can nail the landing there, honestly.
Exactly. That's always the hardest part.
Yeah.
And I remember I was reading about the creator was a big fan of Lost. So I think he's learning from Lost. I'm
watching Lost right now. I'm on season 1 of that. It is good, season 1, but I've been told that season 4 or 5 is when it gets kind of like, this is disappointing. So
that's a big undertaking.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I like it a lot. It's been great so far, and let's just keep hoping that each episode gets wilder and wilder. Don't forget, when I came on the episode 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said they're calling this generational TV. So at least that was one of the reviews. I think it was generational TV. But yeah, who knows, man. Cool. I mean, what else are you watching there, Brad? Again, we're gonna save the good stuff for next week, even though we did give you a little bit good insight. But yeah, I mean, what else have you been watching, dude?
I've just started season 2 Squid Games. I'm pretty slow to it.
Same. Same.
Just getting a bit busy, but I'm near the end of the episode 1 and they still haven't joined the game yet. So it's a little slower, but I'm excited. I want to watch it.
It's a good ending to episode 1, correct? If I remember correctly.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay, good. All right. Keep watching. Yeah.
So I'm excited. And then, I was able to watch some movies, streaming and then on the plane as well on my trips that I've had. So watched Wild Robot. It's on Peacock. Okay. I was told you guys about that.
Did I overhype it?
I don't think so at all. I think
thank God. Okay. So what'd you think of it, man?
Beautiful. Really a beautiful movie. I like the characters. I was surprised by the cast with like Pedro and Lupita, Mark Hamill, Bill Nighy. I mean, Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows. Like, I was surprised. Very solid cast.
I love that you keep your reviews out of the chat and you save for the podcast. Because Vu gives his Vu. I don't want to speak for Vu, but he also really liked it and he watched it with his mom, which is probably really. I'm glad you liked it, man. I mean, I'm glad. Did you think it deserved being one of the better movies? What we put it up for, which was one of the best movies of the year.
I think so. I think I enjoyed it more than Inside Out 2 for an animated movie.
Same, man. And it truly got me in the heartstrings. I don't know if you teared up, but there was moments I'm like, holy shit. I was thinking of Lindsay and Barry as like, Barry as being that the little bird and Lindsay being the robot. It was such a good film. I really am glad that it's getting its award nominations. It's also, it got re-released in theaters. So it's in AMC right now. So more and more people are seeing it. And I think it's going to be hopefully big.
I really want to see Flow. Because Flow is what won over Wild Robot. So I'm just so curious about that movie. But
me too.
Other movies I saw some airplane movies. I watched A Real Pain, which is also on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
The Macaulay Culkin's brother, I can't remember his name, from Severance, and Jesse Eisenberg.
Yep.
It's a good movie. It's kind of like a family road trip in Poland, and one of them is on one extreme and one is on the other extreme for personality.
Yeah.
So like there's times where I was like, oh my God, this one guy is like, I want to punch him.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was a sweet movie. I thought it was really respectful to the Polish heritage and what they went through.
Yeah.
And then I watched Saturday Night.
What did you think of Saturday Night? Because it's a very polarizing movie.
I thought that was a cool movie. I thought the idea of it was very cool, and I thought the acting and the characters chosen, I had no issue with.
Same.
I like that I really didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think I only recognized the Dan Aykroyd character.
Dylan O'Brien.
Maze Runner guy.
Yeah.
But it was like fast paced. It was a cool story. I don't know how much of it was truly true.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Fabelmans?
I have not.
Oh, so that's what the Lorne Michael character. He was in that movie. And then Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, I think his acting debut was the producer for NBC, the young producer from NBC.
Oh,
the one who was kind of like, the young buck.
Yeah, Dick, I think his name.
I think you're right. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. There was a lot of young actors in it. I mean, I loved Chevy Chase's actor. I thought he did a great job embodying Chevy Chase. I mean, from what I've heard, Chevy Chase is just a pure asshole. So I thought he did a really good job there. I seriously thought Saturday Night Live was, I think it's on my top 10, if I remember correctly.
Really? Okay.
But I liked it more than most, I think.
Yeah.
Because I like SNL.
Yeah, I was going to say, you really like SNL. And
yeah.
But I just thought I like a movie that's like has a good pace, and that had a good pace while also telling like a cool story of who the hell gave Lorne the keys to this Saturday night section, and then all of a sudden he turns it into something special. So it's a cool story. Yeah,
it is a cool story. I'm glad they made a movie on it. So definitely neat.
That's all I've seen. What about you?
Yeah, like last night. So I was in Vegas last week, so I didn't really get to watch anything. Just celebrating on my other side. Celebrating the idea that Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast is gonna be bigger than ever in 2025. Y'all wait and see. We have some great ideas. But I've got Ides of March. I was watching that with Ryan Gosling and George Clooney. Good film. I thought it was gonna be a little more political. And it's just all about the backstabbing, about how people can rise to power in the political scheme and the political game. Ryan Gosling, from what I understand, I think this was before Crazy Stupid Love. So this might have been his first role that he was in. It might have been his first role outside of that. Good acting, dramatic actor. George Clooney is not very much in it a ton, but he's fine in his role itself. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in it too. It was just good to see him. Anytime I watch Philip Seymour Hoffman, I truly realize that he's a great actor. So Ides of March, I give it like an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I just thought it was going to be more politics. Yeah, check it out, man. I mean, it was during the 2008 or 2012 election. I can't remember which one. So it was fine. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Companion. It's out in theaters, so it's about. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's about a woman and a man, Jack Quaid, and the woman. I can't think of her name right now. I think it's something Thatcher, Sophie Thatcher. She was in Heretic, and she is just so good in the movie. Everyone's really good. It's kind of a small cast, but they're all really well cast. If you ask me, I mean, they're all young up and comers, so it was kind of cool to see them. And yeah, I mean, it's about these guys who get a getaway weekend, and the getaway weekend turns to hell. And which I love movies like that, where it's kind of like, oh, they go to a house in the woods and everything just kind of goes to chaos. So I don't want to give too much before out of it too, because there are some. If you haven't seen the trailers, there's some good things in there that surprised me personally. But it was a good flick. I've been told I think it was only made for $20 million. The director of Barbarian did it, so I love that because I love Barbarian.
Recommend.
Yes. I liked it better than Ides of March. Hateful Eight, interesting. I'm watching that right now. I'm watching like episodes because it's so damn long. Quentin Tarantino back in 2017 created this one starring I think it's Samuel Jackson.
This isn't the first time you've seen this, is it?
No, rewatching it. So I wanted to rewatch it because I was kind of I don't know, when I watch things like in snow like that or in cabins, I get tired and I'm trying to fall asleep earlier. So I was watching. It is good, great acting. It's all heavy dialogue, right? I mean, there's not much going on.
Yeah.
So far. So like I'm at like most of the way through it. And then I'm watching that Spider-Man TV show that's come out. I'm only 1 or 2 episodes in. It's definitely different, definitely unique compared to, let's say, the cartoon version of the Miles Morales movie. Not as high stakes yet, but it's just you watching Spider-Man just be a kid in high school, and it's a weekly episodic period show like the one from the 90s. I'd been told that it was supposed to be originally Tom Holland. It's supposed to be like kind of like what was his like life leading up to when he finally became Spider-Man, or like his day-to-day. It was supposed to be that more related, but they changed it to just be something non-related to the MCU. So it's definitely unique, definitely cool so far. There are some other MCU characters that have shown up, but I'm looking forward to seeing what else they got for it. As I mean, they say ass to say shit a lot. It's not a kid's show by any means. Okay. So I mean, for me, I'm like, okay, I think if they're gonna do that, it might be a pretty damn good show. I don't know. Kind of Invincible light in a way, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh, which I think season
3 comes out. Is it this week or next week?
It's all. I don't remember, but is it weekly? I think it's weekly.
Right, it's weekly, but I think it's in the first episode this week, or is it next week?
So,
well, let's check because I want to get back into that. I just love animated.
February 6th,
shit,
tomorrow.
Man. Okay, cool. I just love animated shows. I really am on a kick right now about it because I'm so updated on pretty much everything outside of animation. So yeah, that's what I've been watching, man.
I forgot. I should say I have seen Skeleton Crew on your recommendation, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man.
It was a nice, like, not heavy.
Yes.
Fun show, like Goonies and Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah. Star Wars should make a Euphoria Star Wars show. Or it's just like them just doing drugs the entire time and just doing lightsabers and
they should put the Star Wars brand in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A horror movie Star Wars? Come on.
Yeah, that'd be sick with Darth Vader. I dream about that. I dream about it. What'd you think of what's his name's character?
Jude Law?
Jude Law.
I thought that was good. I thought he played it really well. I was definitely unsure of how I just was expecting him to turn good and be a good guy, but it's actually Jude Law playing a bad guy. Or complicated guy.
Complicated is a better way to put it. Very complicated. Because that last scene where the kid kind of almost looked back at him and was being like, I don't remember if he put his hand out or if he was kind of like almost like stop, like let's wait for him or let's try to save him. Because Jude Law is the one who made that kid who wanted to be a Jedi believe that he could be a Jedi. Yeah, he didn't believe that anybody could be a Jedi.
He's not just a bad guy, but he does bad things.
He does bad things. He's
pretty extreme bad things.
Right. And you understand because of his background. I mean, they find him on a pirate land, I think in jail.
Yeah.
So we should have assumed. But he was good in some parts. I mean, yeah, it's just a cool world, and the worlds they go to are really cool. I agree with you, dude. Yeah, it was
It was a
really
good show.
surprisingly
So
good.
I think I want to try Andor next for like
Yes.
a casual show.
Yes. It is a little heavy though. I will say
Okay.
that it's deeper. Like you may have to pay attention.
Okay.
So it's hard to be a casual. But I think you might watch it and think to yourself, oh, I want
Yeah,
to
right.
focus
Like
on
this will
this. I want
change
to pay
into a
attention. Yeah.
non-casual show.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Well, we've been watching a lot, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And something coming up this weekend is the Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of people watching, throwing them pigskins, tackling each other outside. I mean, are you doing something fun for the Super Bowl?
Oh, I honestly forgot it was there. So we'll see. I mean, the two teams I could care so less about.
Nobody cares about it. Remember how fucked up we got last year, Brad? Like playing, or at least I got fucked up playing. What we're doing, beer pong, and we played for at least like 10 to 12 rounds.
I'll be curious to see if there's any good trailers that are unexpected.
That was my transition. It was the idea is that the Super Bowl, we've already gotten a couple of little sprinkles, not really sprinkles because they're true trailers. And I kind of get why they're doing this, but we got two big trailers that came out this week. Unless was there one last week we missed or anything? Because I feel like we've been missing a lot. I mean, we've been talking about it, but like,
yeah, I think just Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park was the big.
Yes, Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park. Let's get your initial thoughts, man. I mean, what do you think of the Jurassic Park to start? What do you think of that trailer? I sent you guys that today. I feel like out of the two, that's the least hyped.
Yeah.
But it's the first one that comes out in July. It goes Jurassic Park, Superman, and then Fantastic Four.
Ooh, okay.
For the month of July.
I think that's a good way to have it start there because, it's what, the 7th movie?
It is.
So
I hope they forget the middle three.
Yeah.
Like they have.
I'm excited. I mean, I like the cast. I like the trailer, especially the guy from Wicked is in it.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey.
Cool. Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
And then I'm intrigued by this like mutant dinosaur. Yeah. And there's a scene where it's like an orange storagey area or something, and a guy's like, help me. And then behind him, there's kind of a shadow of like a strange looking dinosaur, I'll say.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you never saw the middle ones, the ones that just came out, or not the middle, but the
I saw I think 2 of
trilogy.
3.
2 out of 3. Okay. What do you think of those?
Of them? First one, I was like, it's new, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I just got bored because it was kind of the same stuff. Yeah. I really wasn't intrigued that much by Chris Pratt, I'll be honest.
I kind of too, man. No, I wasn't really intrigued by him either. I think I like Scarlett Johansson being in this role because I think she's a really good actress. Mm-hmm. Who I've always wanted to see her do more. Mahershala Ali, an Oscar-winning actor, and in the trailer he didn't seem like the biggest character, but I do hope he has a lot more to do. In this movie. I think I'm on the same page as like. I wonder why it seemed like it was a true trailer, and they could have gotten away with just doing like a teaser to me. To me, kind of be truthful, it seemed a little bit like storyline wise from the trailer. It seems like any of the other ones to me.
Yeah, they're not doing anything different. It
doesn't seem like, but maybe the way they do it will really change. I knew from the shot cinematography, it looked beautiful. You can tell by the tone. I mean, it just a lot of different colors in that trailer. It seems really gritty, which Gareth Edwards, who did The Creator, is directing this one, which is cool to see because he made a $90 million movie look like a $250 million movie. He made it. And they're not giving him a ton of money for this. I think most of the money went to the actors, some of the CGI, but this one is going to be one where I think it has to be story driven. You can't just get away with having some goofy ass Chris Pratt with raptors as his freaking pet. That can't happen. I don't want them in like I want a more gritty take, which so far in the trailer that's what it's showing.
Make it scary. They have a mission.
Yeah, and have you seen that too? Like where they're kind of hyping the idea there's gonna be a little bit of a scarier.
I love
movie.
it.
Yeah, same.
Again, that I'm looking at other images of this like a mutant thing, and it looks like a Rancor from Star Wars. Like it looks, and that's what I thought they were missing was just like a mystery / horror in terms of like. Whoa, instead of like, oh, T-Rex again. Bigger T-Rex.
Yeah.
Because again, we're on movie 7, so you got to do something.
Yeah, man. I mean, something's gonna have to change. I think if they do the horror element, we'll get there. Oh, that's right, the mutant thing. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, that does look crazy. So I'm excited. Hopefully, there's no Chris Pratt. Doesn't even mention him in it, and I hope we keep getting more cinematography and looks that are kind of similar to what we saw in The Creator. Because a movie like this should do so well. I mean, what's crazy to think is that all the Jurassic Park movies have made $1 billion. At least the last 3 made $1 billion.
Whew. So
$1 billion.
The expectations are going to be there,
right? Exactly. And they're making it with half the budget, better actors, if you ask me, much better actors, if you ask me. So, yeah, I thought the trailer was fine. I'm excited. Yes, I am excited. I think you guys maybe it maybe look better to you guys because I've seen all of them. I've analyzed all the other trailers too. Like I just get bored or stoned or something. I usually sit here and just watch trailers, and I'm like, well, how could you make the tone of this? And I get bored. So I'm glad that you guys were intrigued by it.
I think it'd be because I think it's like a Planet of the Apes, but a little worse. Like a good movie to start the summer.
But give me the tone of Planet of the Apes. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want that. Throw some comedy in, have a kid in there, whatever. But I want some steak. I mean, I want some stakes. I want they can do so much better. So they're starting from the bottom. Yeah, surprise us, honestly. Fantastic Four, man. I mean, we are getting the 2 biggest movies of the summer. It seems like our back-to-back, week-to-week is going to be Fantastic Four and Superman. There's a lot of hype for Superman because it's going to be essentially establishing a new universe, whereas Fantastic Four is almost kind of helping refix it or maybe reintroduce the new Phase 6, a new world or what the future of the MCU is going to be looking like. What'd you think of the trailer?
I like the retroness. I like the look of it. I just don't think it's ever possible to make the Thing not look a little goofy.
Yeah.
It's just so hard.
Yeah.
But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, You just have to accept what it is.
Yeah. And it's not the most serious. It's very comic-y.
Yeah, so I'll give it some grace, I think. But I am excited and intrigued to see I always forget his name too. The Celestial. What is it? Apocalypto?
Galactus. Yeah.
So I'm curious when you get characters that are so big and
he's kind of goofy looking too.
Yeah. Like how that looks, because it has to be CGI. But
you saw Eternals?
Yeah.
Recently. Did you like that? I forget. Did you like that movie or no?
I enjoyed that movie. I was surprised. I had low hopes.
I think we're an Eternals, pro Eternals podcast.
Yes.
Which not a lot of people are. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. The Galactus aspect would be interesting. I really want like a Incredibles aspect of the family. Like where they're in trouble and they have to really work together. I love the universe it's in so far. I like that kind of Jetsons vibe where it's 60s, but also futuristic. You know what I mean? I think all of them are great actors. They got the best acting crew out of any of the out of anybody out of any Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So I think that's really exciting. It didn't give a ton of the trailer, so that's one thing I like about it is that it made me wanting more after that trailer. I wanted more. Yes, it didn't give away much. Gave you the vibe of what the situation is. I mean, this is important. This movie is going to be important for the future. Of the MCU going forward. I mean, rumors going on is that they're going to be doing an X-Men versus Avengers. Well, where does the Fantastic Four fit into this? I know that Doomsday, Dr. Doom, is literally the main villain in Doomsday going forward. I don't think he's going to be in this movie, but I think he's going to be in the main bad guy going forward. He's supposed to be in Doomsday and Avengers. What's the next one after that? I'm blanking out. Avengers, Secret Wars. Secret Wars. So he's supposed to be the main guy. So he's going to be introduced in this. I don't know if he's going to be made, very much introduced, but he's going to be introduced in some way. Yeah, I mean, I think it got me excited, and I mean, I'm one of those guys who doesn't need to be. Oh, it's DC or MC or even Jurassic Park. How about I just want
why not all?
Yeah, why not all of them be really good and they all make a lot of money? And we all talk about this summer as being really successful because it's been a while. I don't know where this tribalism is coming from.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky are we to be back?
America loves to take a side.
God dang, they do, don't they? It's so frustrating to go on the internet and see this. But I'm on the persona of I can't wait for all three of these movies. July's gonna be huge. I think also maybe Mission Impossible comes out in July.
Ooh.
I mean, this summer is gonna be crazy. We're gonna be making our money's worth with A-List.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that, man.
Oh, I gotta rewatch Mission Impossible because damn, is that a good movie too.
That's a damn good movie. Anything else you want to say about these trailers before we move on to what we are here today, the main event?
I just emphasize again that this summer is going to be huge.
Yes, we're gonna put that out there.
Is going to be huge.
Is going to be huge, brother. Oh, I completely agree with you, man. Just making sure Bregman didn't get signed by the Cubs. All right, cool.
Breaking news.
Yeah, just making sure.
Jimmy Butler got traded just now.
Did he?
To the Warriors. Breaking news.
Oh shit! Well, they were looking to trade KD there, so they got Jimmy Butler, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I bet they gave up a lot more than what
Schroeder, Wiggins, another player, a pick.
Is Miami in it? Like in the playoff situation right now?
That's a great question. They are 7 seed. They're 500.
Okay, so they're in it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, moving on, man. I mean, this has been one I think you've wanted to do for at least a year.
I've mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah, you've mentioned it, and you know what? I'm glad we're doing this. It's too bad Vu couldn't be a part of this, but I think what we got is a good list here, a good tournament. We're doing. How do you want to describe what is the title of this tournament?
I just imagine it as like a tournament of the best fictional places or environments, or human created fictional worlds, like cool places that we have thought up of. And so I don't know what's in it, but stuff like Hogwarts is an example.
Would you consider this is a 14 seed? I'm already giving you a little bit of, but would you consider Pirates of the Caribbean world? Because it's technically supposed to be in the Caribbean, but the places they go are not real in the Caribbean. Yeah. Again, this is 14. This is the last one. I could replace it. I just want to see if there's something better for it.
Let's see. What about Middle Earth?
That's in there.
What about? I don't know.
How about I just show you? How about I show you the list?
Let's
dive in, and you tell me if you think this is a fine list. And if there's any that you really wanted in there, we'll make sure that we get that in there.
Perfect.
So we've got. I'm gonna share it right here. The title bracket. Okay, I'm gonna move that right here. Oh, is it still sharing?
Yeah.
Perfect. We've got number 1 seed, Lord of the Rings. Number 2 seed, DC. So I've got like Krypton. We've got things like
Gotham.
Like Gotham, things like that.
Metropolis.
Exactly. Just the world of what the DC has created. Number 3, then we go into the Matrix.
Ooh.
We've got Matrix versus Hunger Games. So I mean, we can start off like how we usually go into it. I mean, unless there's any here, I got like the Mad Max universe. Even though that one may not go very far.
Good.
Yeah, Avatar. I tried to stay away from like Earth. So some of these I think are going to get eliminated quick. And I think we know which ones are going to get eliminated quick. But, at the same time, who knows? Blade Runner, I think, is a really underrated one. So I don't want to spoil. Do you like this list or do you think we need to make adjustments?
I'm starting to think of like, how do I decide?
Yes. And when we go into it, we can kind of decide on the spot how we want to describe how they win. But let's start with Hunger Games and Matrix and kind of figure out what we're thinking here. So Hunger Game versus Matrix. The Matrix is an insane universe. I just recently rewatched the movies. I mean, it's based on Earth, but I'm thinking of the actual Matrix world. Do you remember this movie at all?
Oh, yeah. So basically, reality is humans are being harvested for their energy by robots, and to keep them docile, they are plugged into basically a virtual reality type simulation. And then one of the Neo, Keanu Reeves, is unplugged because he's the chosen one. He's Jesus Christ, and he saves everybody. But the world, not only the virtual reality world, but then the real world is just so fascinating. Like dominated by robots, humans are like in the caves trying to survive. I don't know. It's whoever. I don't know how you get to a point in your brain to think that creatively and put
Especially
it in
back in
paper.
the day.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
impressive.
So then I think of Matrix, but then for Hunger Games, I mean, I think of the world is Earth, but it's such an oppressed alternate universe.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's literally built into districts. So is that the entire? Is that the entire like? Is it? I forget. Is the Matrix? There is the. Are the what do they call them? Districts? Are they
Uh-huh.
like? Is that just the United States or is that the
I
whole world?
believe so. I believe it's
Oh, okay, yeah, North America.
yeah, different
Um,
sections of that geographic area.
Gotcha. And I mean, it truly has become it's like the worst of the worst versus the super rich. And I just feel like that when you're in like let's say you're in the capital. I mean that's lavish. It's nice. It's rich. It's beautiful. People live in luxury. I mean they're obsessed with things like status and in fashion and things like that. But then the districts are the most of them suffer from extreme poverty. I just think to myself it's just such a unique version of Earth. And I think one of the main reasons why I like it is because it's such an important and integral part of the storyline of the Hunger Games. So some of these
The
places
whole story.
you're watching and you're like, okay, this movie is in a cool world, but it's not affecting the storyline in the place we're in. Is that a good way to put
Yeah,
it?
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, right. That's I'd say you're saying the same thing with Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, these both are these. This what's cool about this one is both of these movies heavily influenced by the world they're in, storyline wise.
Wow, you brought up a great point about the Hunger Games. Makes me rethink. Like, really is all of their reality is this geographic area, and they're districted off. You know, they're segregated off, and they're forced to fight each other. While this upper class, this elite, other little section called the Capital, just gets to watch and bet on it and cheer for it. So, like, really is just the whole fictional world is the story, and how the people in this fictional world navigate through these like oppressive times, these dynamics of a political system that puts you against your fellow citizens.
I mean, I'm gonna look up see what like maybe some parameters are for trying to get across how we could maybe rank which ones are better in a way. But I think truly, I mean, these things are like, I think they're both insanely integral to the universes, the movies themselves. It's really a toss up for this one for me. I don't know.
Kind of is.
I mean, do you have one you're more rooting for, or what do you think?
I think I would lean just slightly towards Matrix because, again, I think it's just such a creative and wild way to think about reality. Because we technically could be in it right now. We don't know.
Oh my God! Especially lately, I think Elon Musk tried saying we are in a simulation, probably.
So I just think, I definitely lean a little more sci-fi, just in my personal preferences. So maybe that's bleeding in, but I think the idea of this whole Matrix world and how that plays into the whole trilogy, and then there's a fourth movie. That's what I would lean towards.
Okay. Are there overlords in also? So there's overlords in both, right? Matrix and
I guess the Matrix one is like there's like a AI, I think, is what you would call it.
Do they ever end up changing the world at the end? I know they end up like at the end of Matrix. I know at the end of Hunger Games, I know both, but Hunger Games is the one I'm rooting for. I'm actually voting for Hunger Games, I think. I just think maybe that's just because I was so surprised by the movie. And I think because of how surprised I was by the movie, I think you can't go without saying the world itself it was in is maybe a big part of that. Whereas the Matrix, probably that's what the Matrix thought too back in 1999.
I mean, if we're talking, like, I don't even, what happens at the end of the third movie? That is the one I least remember.
she ends up
'Cause
killing
it got like
Peta, and
really
her end up together, and the world's they fix it, I think, at the end. Like there's no more Hunger Games, and I think everything's kind of back to relatively be equal.
Oh no, I was talking about Matrix.
Matrix. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he puts a glitch, or he stops the glitch into the Matrix.
Yeah, and then it like reboots.
Like, which one could we go to bat for further on? That's the thing.
Probably Hunger Games.
I'm wondering if
it
that's
really is
new.
a solid trilogy, and the world they've built is so cool. And we have the prequel now to give more context. And
yeah,
it is cool, the whole district thing and like Revolution.
Do you feel comfortable with going with Hunger Games for
I
this
like
one?
Hunger Games.
All right, we're gonna go with Hunger Games for this one. I don't know how far it's gonna go. I mean, it's Space Lord of the Rings next, but we'll see. Cool. Well, we've got the MCU versus Mad Max. Now, the universes we're in, Mad Maxes both take place on planet Earth, but the MCU does take place in the galaxies, I guess you could say. So that's one thing that does help it. Whereas Mad Max is truly just a desolate wasteland in the middle of Australia, I guess technically is where it stays. Now that I put this on there, I think a lot of people recommended this online because of the people, how the people have changed, how it's essentially become a cannibalistic world universe that it's in. If you looked at that, you would not think it's planet Earth, I guess you could say. Maybe why people were saying that. But the MCU itself is normal Earth with planets around it, which I would say anything that's just normal planet Earth, I don't think is really a great universe to be in, a great place to be. I guess when we're describing, how do you describe this again, Brad?
Like the MCU, or
how would you describe what we're doing this tournament's for?
Coolest fictional places and like
yeah.
So that's where I don't know. I saw MCU and I'm like, I just Googled it. And I was like, I don't know.
I mean, Wakanda.
DCU has a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
MCU doesn't have as much.
It's got the planets, but
like Wakanda, Mad Max is cool thing.
Yeah, but the Mad Max, I mean, it's not really necessarily that. I mean, they've got like Oil World, they call, what I mean, and like
Bullet City or something.
Bullet City, and yeah, I mean Thunderdome, and this is not a good one. Whereas last round, I think it was a really good one. This one, I don't know. I mean, I think MCU might be better just because of the grand scale of things.
I'm just trying to think, like,
but also I think it's bullshit that they get to use the universe.
Also true.
I don't want to root for that.
Like,
it's like a cheat code.
I guess they have Asgard too.
Asgard, yeah, true.
But they really don't have in Wakanda. There really isn't like locations, which is very interesting to think about when you think about the MCU as a whole. It's like just a lot of Earth based.
Well, that's why it was such a big deal. I think it was a risk when they did the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
back in the day, because it was not a planet Earth thing, and it was a little goofy and I don't know, planetary. But
I go with Mad Max.
You're going Mad Max.
The world that they've built, that it's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
they fight for water and the cultures that have come up from it. I'm starting to think this is a hard tournament. I don't even know where I'm going.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look it up. Let me just see.
Because we might have to do like single locations or something.
Yeah. Oh my God. So here's a thing. Using a scale. Oh my God. Scoring. I could do. All right, let's see. Could you score? This is what ChatGPT is scoring this.
Yeah.
MCU versus Mad Max. All right. Oh, they are. Okay. So they're giving quality of life. Like they're looking at this thinking like, okay, Mad Max setting, a post-apocalyptic wasteland, everything you brought up, brutal, people live in makeshift settlements, aroma scavengers, gasoline and water are the most valuable. See, that's so interesting. Gasoline and water. You know what I mean? survival, anarchy, resource scarcity. MCU is a world similar to modern Earth, but with superheroes, aliens, and advanced technology. For most people, life is normal and mirrors the real world, except for the occasional superpowered threats. You can't forget the snap. So it's got like quality of life, rated 10, 1 out of 10, 10 being excellent, 1 being terrible. I mean, Mad Max 1, Earth being an 8. Freedom and Control is rated a 4 for Mad Max, 7 for MCU. Survivability 2. They really just they just shit on the world itself of Mad Max. Like I feel like as if we were living. They say what is the better universe in the sense of like probably what living and all these different things are, which is survivability, technology, potential for change. This wouldn't be something that's good for us. What do you want? Yeah, what do you think would be better option for this?
I just think like the world that was created is based around like Mad Max has built a world versus MCU is just like, oh, we're on Earth, and then like I like the idea that they've created this post-apocalyptic society.
You know what? None of us are rooting for MCU. Yeah, none of us are rooting for New York to move on.
They're character-based. They're not place-based.
Yes,
whereas
exactly.
DCU is arguably pretty place-based.
Yeah. Okay, we're back into a good one.
Ooh.
Narnia within a wardrobe and Dune, the planet of Arrakis. I mean, God, there's more than we have even explored yet. I think Narnia, it's fun to have it on here. The universe, do you remember the first time watching Narnia?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
When you walk through the wardrobe and you see Mr. Tumnus and you see the White Witch and just the world that they created. I remember when I read the book, I really thought, golly, this is one of the greatest books I ever read because the fantasy part. Whereas Dune, same thing, really accentuates, really puts you in the, you definitely felt like when you're reading the book, you definitely felt like, okay, the movies have created what the book put out. For you, what is the better one? What better option? Again, Dune is they've got the universe of Dune. So that's huge. That's huge. But is there anything Dune related to planets where they're like Mordor, where they're like where it's like like
places?
Whereas Narnia is truly I guess I couldn't name them on the top of my head. But it is like that journey is very unique and very cool.
Oh, that's tough.
In that world.
I was actually leaning towards Narnia. Even though I do like the emphasis kind of on culture and rituals and religion and that kind of thing of Dune, but I just like the idea. I'm thinking of like what's created, like what's the creative thing that has been made. And I just think like a whole universe in a wardrobe is just kind of wild.
Yeah. I would say this Dune, like the worlds that we're in, when we're watching it on screen, it truly is a spectacle. The big machines, the palaces that they're created. God, I mean, where they were at the end on Arrakis, at that Dune Part 2, where they came to take that down, that was so big and extravagant. But I haven't seen the other planets, right? I mean, that's that first Dune Part 1 where he's some of the best shots, the beautiful shots of them that doesn't feel like Earth. It does not feel like Earth is when he's on that land where it's dark sand.
Yeah. And
it's like the things are floating in the air. It doesn't feel like Earth to me. But then Narnia
is just smaller scale, so you have that part, and then Dune is just bigger scale.
Well, then
so you get a couple planets and a couple different societies, governments.
Let me see what the locations are in Narnia. Because I'm trying to. Am I like? I remember the Queen's Palace is beautiful.
Yeah, the like Palace of Ice.
Yes. Let's see. All right, diverse locations. That is one of the Narnia. So the kingdom, the Care Paravel. So that's the royal castle by the sea. The Stone's Table, where Aslan's sacrifices. The Lantern Waste, where Lucy first meets Narnia and meets Mr. Tumnus. Okay, so that's the snow. The Beaver's Dam, the Dancing Lawn, a meeting place for Narnians. Archen Land. So these are lands around and kingdoms around there. I mean, there are lands and kingdoms. Like there's Archen Land, there's Kellerman, there's the Western Wild. So that's the land west of Narnia, home to giants and mysterious ruins, the lone islands, the eastern oceans and beyond, the north, the underland. Oh my God, there's so many, but we haven't seen them because it's been so long. Now, what about Dune? There's got to be so many cool planets in Dune, right?
Oh yeah.
What's better then? What do you think is better? Now that's a good point to bring in.
I mean, Dune probably has more content. Again, like the Narnia, it's just like a map. It's kind of, I guess I can't use that because then you could use the same thing for Middle Earth.
Right. That's becoming an issue. I mean, look at this.
But then again, we can easily name a bunch of locations in a Middle Earth.
Right.
Oh, whereas I couldn't name a single place. Narnia. I'm going with Dune. I really think the emphasis on the different communities and societies, I just think is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
something that I was thinking that I wish. This is all movies and stuff, but the world of Game of Thrones.
See, I should have put that in there.
Because if you want to talk about like a world built, like that has to be the best world built.
I mean, dude, you could also put, I feel like even Severance could technically be in there. We don't know what world they're in. We don't know where the location is. If you really want to get really deep about it like that.
Yeah.
I would probably agree with you, man. I mean, I'm looking at like the Dune one. They got Arrakis, Caladan, the water planet, Giade Prime, the Harkonnen planet. That was sick. Yeah, I think it also goes to Dune. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Choice.
Yeah.
Did we do Star Wars in this?
We did.
Okay.
It's right up next.
Ooh.
We've got the Caribbean versus the vast land of Star Wars.
Ooh.
And there are some cool, I don't know if you've seen all the movies, but there are like where the Jedi preside. The world's vast, whereas the Caribbean is literally Britain and Caribbean.
Man, it's hard not to choose Star Wars.
Yeah. I think it's
Naboo, the Senate, Death Stars.
Mm-hmm. It truly has created a world.
Tween. I think Star Wars is an easier one for me.
I think so too. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not the most. I don't know the most about this. I put aliens on here just in case if you want, if you've seen more of the movies recently or something. I know like we're gonna be getting that Alien TV show coming out. Alien Romulus, like that world they were on before they got into Romulus was really cool to me. But I was kind of like Blade Runner, really.
I actually don't know a whole lot about the Avatar world. A lot of it's like spaceship based.
Most of the movies on Pandora.
So Avatar.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's an easy one. Pandora's insane, and we haven't even seen most of the planet. We've only seen 2 parts.
I am excited. I can't remember. There's like a specific group that we'll see in the 3rd movie. They're like fire based or something.
Yeah, fire and ash. They're saying, yeah.
So,
we've got Harry Potter and the Blade Runner.
Ooh.
Yeah, you saw Blade Runner 2049 recently?
I have not.
Oh, have you not seen it in general?
Only the original.
Oh my God, dude! You need to see that. Oh, dude, it's really cool, man. But the first one, if you remember the first, is great. And then Harry Potter. I don't even know why it's 7. I think Harry Potter's world is insane. I mean, we're playing Hogwarts Legacy. It's unbelievable.
Oh. I think
we just haven't had enough of Blade Runner's world to really push it across. I guess you could say maybe like Cyberpunk. That's a game I'm playing right now. That's very similar to like Blade Runner. But you think it's Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we got the first round done, dude. Moving on, we got Lord of the Rings versus Hunger Games, man. We spent a lot of that first round on that first one. But you know what? It's Middle Earth versus Hunger Games. I think Middle Earth wins this one just because it truly is mystical, it's mythical, and the world that was created by Tolkien has been trying to be replicated and duplicated and even just God, you said Game of Thrones. I mean, I just think of like it truly everyone's been trying to achieve the same world feeling as Lord of the Rings since 2004.
Yeah.
Hell, even The Hobbit tried to replicate it.
Bad choice making a little book into 3 movies. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I say Middle Earth. We can save our geeking out about it.
The Hunger Games is a great world. It
really
cool.
is.
It is really cool too. Dune versus Mad Max. I'm gonna go with Dune, dude. I think Dune is, if you think about the world, the universe. Again, Mad Max is really just it's Australia.
Post-apocalyptic Australia.
Yeah. So I think
I like the idea of Dune. That'd be a fun matchup.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings versus Dune, I think it should be in there. I think truly, if you look at Dune, why was it not a Star Wars film? Because it truly does feel, well, I guess there's a lot of different ways to put it, but like, yeah, I think, what do you think is better world, Star Wars or Dune? Universe, sorry.
Probably Star Wars.
Oh, that's too bad because it's going against Avatar.
Just because of like the creativity part of it. Like it's a little less serious.
Yeah. So that's what you think really hinders? Do you think that really hinders Dune?
I think Dune just takes it like serious. Like it's a serious, mature take on things. And then Star Wars is like, we got this beam of light sword.
Yeah.
Well, lasers.
Dune's a little more brutalist.
Yeah.
If you want to describe it, I'd say.
That's a good. Have you seen that movie?
Not yet. No, I need to. Have you?
No, I don't have time for 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Especially in a theater. Whew.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to be released. Star Wars was Avatar. I mean, the world of Avatar is truly so unique and so different. I mean, we're literally paying to go to back. Every time you don't remember the storyline, I don't remember even barely the character's name.
It's always forgettable.
You're going back to the world of Pandora. Where Star Wars is, I mean, you're right. It's diverse. It's really unique. It's really cool. I think the reason Star Wars is kind of floundered is the idea is that it's such a vast universe, and we feel like we've only been to about 6 or 7 planets, and half of them are kind of the same.
It's true. I mean, you get some cool ones like a Mustafar.
Yes.
Hoth is cool, but I guess it's just all snow. But
where Darth Vader resides.
Cloud City's cool.
The Cloud City's really cool. I mean, we saw really cool worlds even in Skeleton Crew recently. I can't wait for you to watch Andor, man. It's truly the most beautifully shot Star Wars film or series on there. It's really cool cinematography wise. But I think Pandora is truly like, and again, Avatar is like, you're selling the idea of like I think the last movie was 60 frames per second, 70 frames per second, like an absurd, like when you're watching, you're almost kind of like, this is too quick and too fast.
I like Avatar as the choice.
I do too.
Just the richness of detail that you get, because Star Wars, you're gonna get like surface level. Like you go to Hoth and it's snowy. You go to Tatooine, it's a desert. You go to Mustafar and it's a volcano. But Pandora is just such a mosaic of, and it's only getting better too. So the second movie was a little more water based, and then we're gonna get fire. Like the planet's gonna get, just when all's said and done, when we get all the whatever movies James Cameron's gonna do.
Yeah,
I'd be very curious to just see like a 3D model of Pandora.
Yeah,
and all the different places.
Do we know how big Pandora is? Like on compared to maybe Earth or something?
Let's see if Google's got anything.
Yeah.
It's about 70% of the size of Earth.
Oh, it's even smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. It's tough when you play like a video game, like you're playing, it's so easy to be like, oh, this world compared to this world because you played all of the world. Whereas Pandora, we still haven't seen it all yet.
It's true.
We've got 6 more movies coming out.
Is it really?
I don't know for sure, but like it seems like it's never ending, right?
Yeah.
But like, what else are they gonna put in there? It seems like every time we have a new movie, there's a new world, but we've only had 2, so who knows really? But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think for this one?
I think Avatar has the quality, and I think Star Wars has the quantity.
Yeah,
so I want to go over quality.
I'm gonna agree with you there, dude. Yeah, I agree. Harry Potter versus the DC, man. I mean, we've got, like you said, you got Krypton, you've got
Atlantis, Gotham.
Atlantis, Gotham. Oh my god, Metropolis versus Hogwarts is just Europe, correct? Britain.
Yeah.
No, it's a mystical, really cool mystical world they're in.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Hogwarts, it's really just England.
Yeah, like what is going on in like Saudi Arabia there?
That's a great
In
question.
that world, is it normal?
There's got to be a school there.
Yeah, I wonder. See, is that everywhere? We haven't seen that yet.
That's true. I think Harry Potter's got the one-hit wonder. It's cool. Hogwarts is cool.
It's elite.
It really is. But DC, like, there's this actually compared to MCU, like DC actually.
True,
like,
you're right.
Think of Gotham. Yeah. Like they have Arkham Asylum. Like just one jail in Gotham has got its own whole games and comics based off of it.
Yeah, so much more creativity.
Yeah.
I'm playing the Hogwarts or Arkham series right now too.
Oh yeah.
So if I get bored of Cyberpunk, or I just it's so dark. So was Arkham, but like I just like the cartoon or the.
I'll never forget. I first played Arkham Asylum. I mean, that came out when we were young, but
2009, I think.
Yeah, what a fantastic game.
That's what I'm playing. I mean, it's even modern day, man. It's awesome.
It was just like so different and unique and a really good way to play a Batman character.
Yeah.
Like I really felt like I could do the Batman things like stealth and detective and all that.
Yeah. I think we know our answer for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. DC's moving on. All right. We've got The Lord of the Rings, Dune, Avatar, and DC as our final four. Let's jump in. I mean, we got Lord of the Rings versus Dune. The one thing that hurts Dune is that all the planets are all essentially the same, right? You don't go to this one part of the planet. It's a little different than the other.
Good point.
I mean, I guess you could say South Arrakis versus North Arrakis is considerably different, but it's just
desert.
You know, it's the same thing with Star Wars, where you're assuming when you go to this planet, they're almost like moons in a way, I guess. Is that is that what I put it? Maybe. Whereas Lord of the Rings, I don't know how big Lord of the Rings is, but it is. It just seems like when you're there, it's a journey. I don't know. I mean, the universe, the different characters from each place,
the different races.
You can say the same maybe for Dune, or am I wrong? Is essentially.
I think it's still more humanity based. Like it's just humans. Yeah. They just might be a little different. You know, like the Harkonnens are a little weird now, but
yeah,
if you've seen the TV show, like they were actually just like normal looking humans.
Oh, 10,000 years ago. I know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think just the world that Tolkien built in Middle Earth is just so beautiful and rich. It really is rich with the history too. You know, you have Hobbiton and you have the elves and you have the humans, you have the orcs, the wizards. I think I have to give it to Lord of the Rings.
I agree with you, man. Yeah, I agree with you. I think I know what. I mean, then we got Avatar versus DC. I think the only thing hurting Avatar is that we don't know what the world is yet. Yeah, we've not fully been fleshed out.
We have to come back and change it up. But yeah, I think
in 10 years from now, we got to come back and we got to redo this.
Forgot about that.
But then DC, we've had many years of it. We've had, I mean, comic books and movies and TV shows explain each place. I mean, you know, what's kind of great about DC is it created its own planet Earth, but also then you use universes outside of it, like you just said. I mean, we got where like Green Lantern's from. You know, it truly, I think it set the standard for comic books and all that kind of crap related to that. I mean, it blows MCU out of the water when it comes to that.
Because I think now that I'm really thinking about it, like each character in DC has like their own physical space.
Yeah.
So we have Batman, obviously Gotham. Superman, I mean, you can do Metropolis, you can do Krypton.
Yeah.
Green Lantern, you know, pretty much it's like Central City or something. But he also goes into space and there's a whole Green Lantern like world.
Yep.
And then Wonder Woman, she has Themyscira or
Themyscira, something like that. Yeah. Atlantis for Aquaman.
Exactly.
Barry, I think, is from the Flash is from. It's not Metropolis or anything. It's his own place too.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, exactly.
They all have like their own space, and it's really built out, I think, and like has character. Gotham is like, oh, rugged and tough, and then like Metropolis is like, Superman, shiny and clean.
And they have their own set of characters too. I mean, I don't want to compare it to like MCU, but MCU literally has 10 superheroes in New York City, and we have to, if not more. I mean, the X-Men are in the suburbs essentially of New York City. Spider-Man, Daredevil, whatever. I don't want to keep comparing it because that was a limited time a lot ago. I think the DC. I think you're right. I think it is DC related. Is Lord of the Rings? Yeah, that's my vote. I'll ask my next question when we get to the final. But my vote's DC.
I agree.
Yeah, once we know more, we'll dive into that.
Yeah, when we come back in 10 years.
Yeah, we come back in 10 years. Now, we got the number 1 for the number 2 seed.
Ooh, we
usually do this.
Yeah.
We got Lord of the Rings.
It's because Vu's not here.
It's because Vu's not here. Yeah, we haven't done any horse races.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, we haven't done one yet. Lord of the Rings versus DC. Now, my question was, is Lord of the Rings supposed to be planet Earth?
I think it's just a fictional place.
But I think that really is unique. You're right. I can't just say, it's Mars, but they decided to make Mars Middle Earth. There's nothing about Middle Earth that resembles Mars.
A fictionalized version of Earth's distant past.
Okay, gotcha. I like that. So you got distant past versus a different fictionalized version of today's modern and the future, you can say, with the DC.
Oh, man. But now, this is where I think seals it for me. So we just hyped up DC. We hyped up different locations.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree completely. Like, oh, yeah, very cool. But then we bring in the Lord of the Rings into the equation. You're like, those different places are like extra cool and extra well written and like a part of the story and culture.
Mm-hmm.
You have, what was it, like Rivendell with the elves and Minas Tirith with the humans and the Shire and Hobbiton for the hobbits, obviously, and then obviously your orc areas with like Mount Mordor and the gates and there's many more that I didn't name because I don't have that great of a memory with Lord of the Rings, but it really is such a well-built world that I think flows together better.
Okay.
Versus in a DC, for me, it's kind of like mishmash. Like, oh, he's in Gotham, he's in Metropolis, and they'll come together. But like, this is just a lived-in world, and they make the journey from like location to location.
All right, so I've got the map of the DCU, and I've got the map of Middle Earth. Interactive map, it's like an image. Let's see. Okay, Middle Earth. What's crazy is that I guess Tolkien died years ago, but you could almost like. All right, so let me share my screen. So I'm gonna show stop screen, present. So DCU is pretty much the United States. It's a set, but with different names. So let me share Middle Earth. We've got Middle Earth. It looks like it's probably Europe. Versus, so you've got, and then let's go into here. So, Hills of Evendim, the Blue Mountains. Golly, man. It truly is so much I've never even experienced yet. Like, where is Hobbiton? South Gondor and here. Oh my God. And we haven't even seen this part and whatever the fuck this must be naming all of them. Okay. Like where is
the Shire? You have to follow the Brandywine on the left side.
Left side. Okay.
It goes to the Shire, as you can see above Arthedain on the left side of where you're looking.
Okay, Arthedain.
Hey, now down.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah, Hobbiton's right there.
Right there. Okay. Now where is like Where is Mordor?
You were just looking at it bottom right.
Bottom right.
So you see it follow those.
Have you seen this map before, or do you just know it that well?
I've looked at it.
You've looked at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
So yeah, they went all the way
Mordor.
down.
Oh. That really puts shit into perspective when you watch that movie. How far they went.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's really cool. And then you're gonna see DC and think this is so stupid. Because that's what now that I've seen that, the map of DC is such a I mean, it's interesting to see, I guess, but here we go. I mean, we've got Metropolis is essentially New York City. It looks like, it's New York City. Washington D.C. is where Wonder Woman resides, I guess. Oh, in D.C. at World of D.C. Okay. And then where do they have Batman living? Nightwing. Do they have Batman living? Oh, right here. Oh, Gotham City, right here. So that's what is this? Is that just like a different place they just created for this map? Probably.
Looks like off of New Jersey.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Actually.
Yeah. Interesting. And then they've got like the Flash is in Central City. That makes sense. Yeah. Central City. They've got Green Arrow is apparently in Star City, California. Okay. Teen Titans are in California. Green Lantern's in Coast City.
That's what it was, Coast City.
Dr. Fate is in Las Vegas. That's interesting. Booster Gold's in Phoenix, Arizona. Blue Beetle's in El Paso, Texas. Okay.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting to see.
I think it makes my decision a little bit easier.
I think it does too for me. I mean, it's essentially why we created this bracket in the first place.
Just to talk about Middle Earth.
I think I think you did a good job. Yeah, you know what? You've done a good job of going through this, and I want you to announce, because I think I'm going to agree with you what you say. What do you think is the best universe, planet?
Yeah, I think in movies, because again, I would fight to the death saying that the George R. R. Martin created world, we haven't seen the movie yet, would be the Westeros, Essos, Sothos world. I don't know what you call that, World of Ice and Fire. But
yeah.
Either way, I think Middle Earth, created by Tolkien, is the best we've seen in a movie. Truly, like not only the trilogy, the OG trilogy, but we'll give respect to The Hobbit. It brought Smaug and the Mirkwood Forest and the elves. But overall, I think Middle Earth really is like the best movie fictional world that we have seen so far.
Well, there we go. The winner of the best world universe fictional place, whatever you want to call it, just don't call me late for dinner, is the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is one. Yes. Middle Earth is one. Golly, I'm glad that had Brad here. I don't think Vu and I could have done this. I really don't think we could have done this, but I'm glad we got to do this, man.
I am too.
Well, hey, that's the end of episode 59 of Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. Everybody, keep checking us out. Keep watching TV What's Out There. I know Brad and I are going to be watching a lot more movies coming out soon in February. It seems like it's really going to start picking up. But, I mean, like we said, the greatest universe in film, as announced today on Filmaholics, according to Filmaholics Podcast, is Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth. So check us out on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on all podcast channels, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, anything you want that sells a podcast. I'm pretty sure we're on there. Brad, do you want to say anything before we head out?
It was good to be back and watch Severance, because we got a big episode coming.
We got
episode 4 is generational, which is what I keep hearing. Next episode might be pretty huge.
Let's go, man. And then, hey, everyone out there listening in, Vu returns next week. So keep checking us out. I can't wait for the three of us to be back here on Monday. So keep fapping. Don't ever stop fapping. And we will see y'all.